See, it's stuff like this that gives me trust issues.
Welcome to the Trust Issues podcast. We have trust issues with the traditional society-dictated path, with the status quo, with the whole get an education, land a job, and work tirelessly until you're 6 feet under. It's time to upgrade your life with the help of us. I'm Erica.
And I'm Kyle Auckland. We're a husband and wife duo, but we're also entrepreneurs, biohackers, and business builders.
Every week, we're dedicated to having purposeful conversations with each other and leading experts on topics like wellness, relationships, and entrepreneurship.
Subscribe to Trust Issues Podcast if you're looking for bold topics, honest dialogue, and valuable lessons.
Welcome back to another episode of the Trust Issues Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about some really simple, easy go-to meals that you can pull from to support you and your family to be the healthiest, happiest versions of yourself. We love to cook at home, and we often get questions around, well, what do you guys cook? What do you eat? And we wanted to answer the question for you today because we really want to help you feel like nutrition isn't that complicated and that you can cook for yourself, you can support yourself and your family. You can even have fun with this process, dare I say. We do love to cook at home, and it's something that supports us. And the thing that I will say is that we are parents, we are business owners, and we have a lot of things that are constantly going all at the same time. And when we are eating well, we're nourishing our bodies is when we're showing up as the best versions of ourselves. So while you might listen to this episode and think this feels a little bit of out of left field, we really want to ensure you that taking care of yourself in this way, making sure that you have some really solid meals that are easy for you to prepare, really helps you show up as a family, as a unit, so much better, so much stronger, so much healthier and happier. And that's what we're here for. So we want to make your life easier, and we want to share with you some of our go-tos. And I think just to kind of sum up the style in which we really believe that nutrition is optimal, you can head back to the episode that we did with Kate Deering. She wrote a book called How to Heal Your Metabolism. What we love so much about her book is that it's really simple. It's really basics. We pull from her book a lot. And it's very freeing. And I think we have a lot of food freedom for the first time in our life, really over these last 3-4 years, where we can enjoy the things we love: cheese, milk, lots of delicious meats, and recipes that are decadent and delicious without having to feel like guilty about what we're eating. Because I think there's a lot of things that are driven into our society today around, you should be low fat, you should be low carb, and everyone's eating such processed stuff, and they're eating, processed dairy-free cheese. And a lot of those things, we have tried them ourselves, and they really did not give us our most optimal health. And when we came back to the basics and we made sure that we were covering those things, those basics, we really noticed a huge difference in how we feel, but also how we show up in our life. So head back to that episode because you can listen more and hear really the philosophy behind it. But today we're going to give you the meals and some examples of what you can prepare for you and your family.
And I think even just quickly coattailing off you there is the one thing we have noticed, and I think you will notice too if you implement this, it's if you are eating substantial meals throughout the day, whether it's just breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you're eating high quality foods that are filling you up to make you feel good, there's going to be less snacking. There's going to be less cravings. There's going to be less because you're eating things that are basically filling your body with what it needs through the day. So like bigger meals that are going to fill you up are going to be better for you in the long run.
Yeah, that's so good. So you asked what we eat, we're answering. Let's dive in. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. And we certainly do not skip breakfast. We really try to aim to have our breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up in the morning. That's really going to help you jumpstart your metabolism. There's so much conversation around intermittent fasting. Newsflash, you fasted all night. You fasted all night, maybe, 9 to 10 hours even, depending on when you stopped eating the night prior. So we don't intermittent fast. We want to jumpstart our metabolism. There's already enough stress in an everyday life if you live in our modern society. And so being able to nourish yourself quickly in the morning is really going to support your metabolism so that you are thriving, your temperature is rising, you really come out of that fasting state to a healthy metabolism. So a couple things we do for breakfast is we really try to mainly focus on protein.
I think our breakfast, the staple that's focused around is our pastured eggs. That's like, for our breakfast, it doesn't matter, if we want to have sourdough toast or fresh cut fruit, everything is kind of centered around pastured eggs. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's the easiest thing to say for that.
Pastured eggs maybe some bacon on the side.
Yeah.
Another protein. If we don't have a bacon or like another meat, we'll try to, one of the brands that we really love to buy from, if you have like no access to like a local butcher where you can get pasture raised meats, we love Force of Nature meats.
So good.
They have really great breakfast meats, in my opinion. I love their breakfast sausage, and I'm not a fan of a lot of breakfast sausage. I feel like they're always so salty and they taste so processed at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I think they're like so gross.
Force of Nature, they knock it out of the park, because not only can you get high quality meats, but they have a very wide variety of what you can order. They crush it with their sausages and their regenerative hot dogs, and they have a whole gambit of stuff to choose from, but it's also very affordable. They're really great with shipping, and like we use them a lot.
I love how affordable they are, because I think a lot of times you think, if I'm going to buy these higher quality ingredients, it's going to really break the bank.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And obviously you're going to spend a little bit more, but overall, like you were saying, you're going to eat a really great meal. You're going to snack less. You're going to spend less money on processed crap, and you're going to feel better. And you're going to have way less trips to the doctor's office. So investing in good nutrition is worth it. So we love Force of Nature, regenerative style farm. That's what they offer. They have sausages. They have breakfast meats. I love their stuff. We'll pair that with some eggs. I love to also maybe do some cottage cheese. I'll take a big spoonful of cottage cheese in my eggs, which adds more protein. So getting a significant amount of protein each meal. I try to aim for at least 30 grams each meal.
Yeah.
And that really helps with stabilizing your blood sugar. That helps with making sure that you feel satiated, and it's also really great for muscle building, which we all want to have more muscle tone on our body because that's better for anti-aging. And so I love to sneak that in. And I know you do smoothies as well. You need to talk about your smoothies.
A lot of times I'll do, just to change it up. I love a good smoothie, and that's where literally you can get so creative with a smoothie. So I'll do, obviously the raw milk, and then some type of frozen berry or even a banana in there that's frozen. I'll add colostrum, collagen, whatever type of protein I'm using. If I'm not going to have, if that's like my only breakfast, I'll use casein protein, because it's a slow digestive protein, where compared to whey's fast. So you could get a little hungrier quicker. And and a little bit of honey. I'll put honey in also, and that's kind of like my smoothie. And I love it because I'll do that, and I'll do it with Dawson. And when you do berries and different things like that, you can even sneak some, desiccated liver in there, and you don't even taste it. So like you can really church up your smoothies to get all your nutrients.
We will link all of these supplements in the show notes so that you can grab a handout for all these things that we love to add to our smoothies and different brands that we love to buy from. But one thing I will say is another brand I love is Crucial 4, because Crucial 4 has the best salt. So we make sure we get really good salt in the morning too. Put a big pinch of that on your eggs. And then we also can even put a pinch of that into a drink that you're having, which I'll share my drink that I like to make in the morning. And then they also have a collagen. They also have a colostrum. So those are things that are powdered form that you can put in a smoothie, and really allows you to get that extra protein, that extra nutrition, really great for gut health. Both are superfood products, so we love that. I also like to make in the morning, because I love a cozy drink. I love to be warm and I love to be cozy. And I like to make this like vanilla cloud type of drink. And I didn't come up with this recipe. I actually follow an influencer who posted about it. And since then, I've kind of made my own versions. But I love to do an egg yolk. So I'll crack an egg yolk and I'll actually mix that up. I'll whip it up to kind of almost make a custard with a pure, raw, organic sugar cane. Raw sugar. And that is something that I will also link. The brand is called Panella, and I love their product. And I'll mix that up, and then I'll go ahead over the stove. I will heat my raw milk. So I'm just gently heating it. And then in there, I'll put a scoop of collagen, a scoop of colostrum. I'll put some cinnamon, some vanilla, a big pinch of salt. And I'll even sneak I have these tinctures that I love. One is called...
your mushrooms?
Yeah, I love my mushroom, my adaptogenic mushroom tinctures. So I will do reishi or turkey tail or chaga or whatever I'm feeling that day, lion's mane, and I'll put that into my warm drink, and I just kind of all mix that up. I let it all heat up, and then I put that into this kind of custard like egg mixture, and that sugar really protects the egg from cooking, and it's so delicious. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like the yummiest thing. I love making that in the morning. You can also do that at night because there's no caffeine. And if we do some type of coffee or caffeine, I like matcha a lot. So I will do Peak Tea has an amazing matcha brand or product, and it's not bitter. It comes in a little tear-off stick packet, and you can put that right into your drink. It's so good. And Kyle's not a matcha fan, but no. I've tried matcha.
She makes me try it every morning just to see if I'll change my mind.
One day you're gonna like it because they say it takes like 9 times or something. You have to try it again.
Worth 9.
I don't think you have. That's such a lie. He's saying no, I don't believe you. But that is something that I'll just, in the exact drink that I mentioned, I'll just put that packet in and I'll just whisk it up. I have that little hand frother. And I'm super specific right now, but this is literally exactly what we do for breakfast, almost every single morning.
Pretty simple.
So lunches.
I feel like lunch is more of the scattered meal of the day. I feel like it's the one meal where it's not as crazy planned, where it's like, I feel like breakfast and dinner, we always know exactly what we're doing, but I feel like lunch is the one that's a little out there. But I will say, I think one of our staples, especially during the summer that we've been going to, is a really high quality tuna with high quality mayonnaise. Mm-hmm. So making that tuna fish and putting it on a piece of sourdough, or just having it on the side of your plate with some fresh cut fruit. And I think that's been such a go-to for us lately.
And we'll make snack plates with this too. Yes. We love a snack plate
some
for
raw
lunch.
Cheese and
yeah. A snack plate could look like a little bowl of tuna. We'll do a high quality mayo. We'll do an avocado mayo, or if you can make a homemade one. And then we'll do some maybe cut up cucumber, some raw carrot, then some raw cheese. We'll drizzle some honey on the raw cheese, maybe some bee pollen, some fruit, maybe a nectarine, depending on what's in season, whatever you can find that's organic and not sprayed, if you can. And then we'll make a little delicious snack plate around that. Maybe a sourdough, crunchy, sliced up piece of sourdough that we've made. But that's a really great way to, I think, make lunch easy, is doing a snack plate. And then you can also share it with your kids. So I know Dawson will just come up and he's just grabbing whatever he wants off the plate. And he loves a good piece of fruit and cheese. He loves fruit and cheese. So I think that that's something that is really simple for almost anyone to do.
Yeah.
And then takes us to our favorite meal of the day, which every single morning we start saying,
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Every morning.
Every morning we're like, right?
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do for dinner? What do we need to take out of the freezer? What are we going to make for dinner? So we have some staples that we really like to make.
I think there's really 3 to 4 meals that we really cycle through. So one is just either a ribeye or a really good steak with some type of potato, whether that's roasted or we do a mashed potato. So that's one dinner we'll do. Another one we'll do is we'll basically take a certain ingredient and play on it for 1 or 2 nights. So one night we'll do a Greek night, and we'll do some Greek marinated chicken on the grill with some organic jasmine rice that we usually soak throughout the day. Once we figure we're using rice, we'll soak the rice.
Soaking the rice just helps with digestion.
Yes.
So you can just soak it in some filtered water and then put a good splash of some Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and that's just going to help to break down the rice a little bit, so it helps with digestion. And if rice is a tolerated food for you, this is a really great way that we like to prepare it. And then we'll make it that night with some garlic. We saute some butter and garlic before we put the rice in. We salt the water really well and make sure we love rice so much. We do white rice, and we love an organic white rice prepared like that.
So that's where we'll do a Greek night and make a whole Greek salad with the feta and the olives and tomatoes, and it's just delicious. And then we'll do homemade tzatziki sauce. It's with the Greek yogurt, and it's...
If you're listening to this and not drooling right now, we're okay, we need to go because we got to go eat.
But then, so basically what we'll do is we'll make a larger thing of rice, because the next night we'll maybe do some type of burrito or taco bowl, where it's we use shout out to Force of Nature again. We'll use the Ancestral Blend ground meat, so it's got the liver and the hearts and organs in there with your ground muscle. And we'll usually do I love a siete taco seasoning. It's really, really good just to sprinkle in, and you got great seasoned dish right there, and cut up some onions and peppers and kind of make our own little bowl. It's like
I think that's such an easy way to approach dinner
Yes.
is like making bowls, because you can do a Greek night, you can do Mexican night, you can do Asian inspired, you can do
that was the next dish.
Indian inspired, and we circle through all of those, and it's like rice, protein, and like whatever sauce we make homemade or something, if it's a curry sauce or tzatziki, or
where you're using similar staple ingredients with your carbs and your proteins and your fats, but you're able to get diversity through different seasonings and sauces and different things like that. So it doesn't get boring.
No, it never gets boring.
Yeah.
And it's also really great for almost all seasons. And I think another thing too is depending on the season that you're in, but we really try to keep it seasonal. So in the summertime, it's a lot more grilling, a lot more like that type of vibe, you know, like grilled vegetables or grilled meats.
Yeah.
And then as we move into fall and winter, it's a lot more of
crock pot,
roast, you know, slow cooked stuff. I'll do a lot of soups. I love to make a good bone broth soup with some pasture raised chicken, and you know, I just literally only use bone broth, and it's just so yummy with like fresh garlic. And a really great hack too for your chicken noodle soup, if you're making a homemade chicken noodle soup, is put the Parmesan rind into your soup. It makes it so yummy. And then you can shave some fresh Parmesan right at the end as you're finishing it up. It's so delicious.
I'm hungry.
We're both getting real hungry right now. So yeah, I think, you know, we have a free download for you at the end of this episode that you can go ahead and snag. It'll be in the show notes so that you can get all of these little tips and recipes and ideas so that you can start trying out some of these dishes. Next up, I think, are snacks and desserts. So I'll be honest, I don't snack. I'm not a snacky person. I don't think about snacks.
I'm more of a snacker.
Yeah, Kyle snacks. I don't ever think about snacks. I literally would not even conceptualize what would I even have for a snack. I'm like breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. That's me. And maybe a bedtime snack, I would say, but I'm not snacking throughout the day. We're just on the go, and I'll get snacks in my child. So whatever he's eating, I might take a bite or two, but I don't really snack.
Yeah, I guess my go-to snacks, it's, I don't know, I guess kind of boring, but it's usually like either fruit and yogurt, or I'll do like a...
And when you say yogurt, it's a high protein Greek style yogurt.
Yes.
So we love the Icelandic yogurts, or a
skyr
or a good Greek yogurt.
Yes, those are like always the go-to. So some type of fruit, cut up fruit with the yogurt, just like she said, and either some cheese or some type of like organic, like Applegate lunch meat. That'll be like the one, I guess, processed meat that we have sometimes is like a high quality lunch meat, because that's something we can give to Dawson too. So something just like that, and that's basically the snacks. And I'll, like, if I'm hungry, I always think like get a snack that has protein with like a little bit of carb and a little bit of fat in it. So I'll go and it's a little bit of lunch meat, or if there's some more tuna or something, with some little bit of cheese, and that's the snack.
Yeah. So
it's never like crazy processed, or, you know, it's always like broken down little pieces of what we had for breakfast or lunch.
Truly. And then dessert is one of my also favorite meals. Maybe every meal is my favorite meal, but we have dessert almost every single night, and we're not afraid to say that we love ice cream and we love making dessert. I'll make a homemade vitamin B. It's actually vitamin B cookies. They're made with brewer's yeast. It's oatmeal chocolate chip with brewer's yeast, and it's so yummy. So we'll make those. We'll have some of that with some raw milk, or we'll get a really clean ingredient ice cream. We also have an ice cream maker at home, so we like to do that as well, with some raw milk, and that's really fun to make when we're feeling fancy. That's not always all the time.
Time allows too.
Yeah, when time allows, which doesn't, we're not superhuman, so we try to make as much as we can, but also we're realistic. But an ice cream is something that we almost never can say no to, so we'll try something like, even if we're wanting more high protein, if we're feeling like, we need some more protein, we'll do like a yogurt bowl at the end of the day with some frozen cherries, drizzle of honey, bee pollen. Like, we'll doctor it up and really make it delicious.
I'll even get, like, one of my favorite things to do is to get like a high quality plain yogurt, or even just like vanilla, and then I'll add my casein or whey protein into it and mix it up. I know you're not a fan of that, but I love it. I think it's delicious. I'll even sprinkle like a little bit of the what are they? The Enjoy Life chocolate chips in there, or like
it literally looks like a paste. It's so
or
bizarre.
Like our one like go-to processed snack, I guess, is like the coconut rolls, like little rolled up coconut pieces, which is literally just like, it's like only coconut is like the only ingredient, but like they're delicious. So I'll put some of those in there. It's like, it's pretty
He gets
basic.
pretty wild,
I do.
as you can see.
Yeah.
It's real crazy. Kyle, calm down over here.
I really miss my Dairy Queen blizzards. So.
Yeah, okay. We haven't had one of those in decades. I think to wrap this up and to summarize it, I hope we can just help you feel encouraged that eating healthy isn't boring.
Yeah.
We love to eat. We love food. We're literally going to jump off this episode right now and go stuff our faces because we're so hungry now after we recorded this. But I just hope it encouraged you to get creative with just fresh ingredients, with things that are going to make you feel your best. And that's why we love to eat this way. It's not because we're restricting ourselves. Again, like I said, we eat dessert pretty much every single night. Like we love food. We have a lot of food freedom in that we don't say no to what we want to eat. And I think therefore we don't overdo it. Like I don't sit there and eat a pint of ice cream at the end of the night. Like I'll just have whatever I want and then I'm good, because we've really allowed ourselves to eat what feels good and intuitively what our body wants. And then that's good. And then, the day's over. So eating healthy is fun. Eating healthy feels good. Eating healthy supports you feeling your best, showing up as the best version of yourself. And we hope that this inspires you today. And if you want to grab the free download that I mentioned earlier, you can go ahead and head to our show notes. The link is there, and we're going to have all of this stuff there for you to download, print. If you want to get some ideas for your next cooking meal, if you want to get some ideas for the next meal that you cook, go ahead and download it, and we'll see you next time.